Hello and welcome back. We're going to be covering Tesla again on the most active stock traded in the US stock market by Bootleg Macro. Looking at the weekly here, we can see the 200 level. This chart doesn't get updated until the end of the week, so it won't be updated till Good Friday. Let's look at the daily. As I covered yesterday, this 200 level, which has been essentially support back in September, it was resistance in November. It looks like it's been resistance again at the beginning of February of 2023 and potentially now here in the beginning of April 2023. The price has just fallen off of 200. The most likely path, if it continues down, is going to be around the 165 level. Let's look at the overall sentiment. We look at bullish or bearish sentiment in the price action for the daily. We actually are at 47% bullish price action inside of Tesla. So in actuality, we could see a move upwards, a counter trend move off of the past few days that we've seen, probably back up to 200, somewhere in there. But at the moment, it does look like it's relatively a fair fight. Bearishness does have a little bit of control. We look at it, it's at 52% bearishness on the daily. On the weekly, we can see it's rising. It's not above 50% bullishness. On the weekly, it is at 45%. So bearishness is firmly in control, at least on the weekly and on the daily at the moment. So you want to pay attention, especially since we're around that level, the 200 price. We look at the volume here on the weekly. We can see we've seen a big explosion of volume in the past week or so. It seems to be fading from this very high volume period at the very beginning of February. Let's look at it on the daily here. Looks like we had two significant days of volume at the very end of March and the very beginning of April, but it seems to have cooled down a bit. That is actually a solid look if you want to see some bullish behavior. You want to see volatility in the volume actually falling. You want to see a nice low level of volume where it's kind of just grinding higher. Looking here at the volatility and the price correlation, we see that the volatility has fallen all the way down. It is at 1.257. Currently, this indicator can go all the way down to zero. If necessary, it is zero bound. We can see all the way back here. We saw volatility back in September of 2022 at 1.2. The most likely outcome here is that volatility is going to shoot higher in the very near period. So it could be tomorrow, since it's the last day of the week, on Thursday, I believe the 6th of April. If correlation continues to fall as we see here for price and volatility shoots up, that will be very negative for price. We look at the volatility on the weekly here for Tesla, we can see that volatility continues to fall, correlation continues to rise. So generally on the long term, even on the intermediate term, we'd be looking at a downward move. We look at this non-sentiment trade range here for Tesla on the weekly. Again, as I covered yesterday, gigantic range. You could go all the way up to $275 or all the way down to 94. It essentially would be in the realm of probabilities at the moment, which is a very concerning move, especially when you think about that Tesla hasn't been able to break above the top of its range here since the middle of November of 2021. Ever since then, it's essentially been falling down, attempting to do a shoot up to nearly probably like 3/4 of the way up to the top and then rally right back down to the bottom of the range. So you probably are going to expect, at least based on what we see in volatility, volume, general sentiment, that right now we'd be looking at the price going closer to 94. As I covered yesterday, Tesla had been just at the very end of March at the top of its daily range. We can see it essentially bounced off the price there at 207, and it continues to make lower lows. It's at $185. It could go all the way down to 165 on the daily range. So buyer beware if you are long Tesla at the moment. This is going to be an incredible trade either way because the volatility in Tesla is about to explode. So I'll be very curious to see what the price action is going to be on the last day of the week tomorrow, as well as what it's going to be like next week in the second week of April. When you get a first full week of an entire month and a new quarter, that can be very significant for where you're going to go for the rest of that quarter. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you like it? Are you long it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I just want to find out what you think about this trade because I have no skin in the game. And to be honest, I wish everyone the best, but I know they can't be all winners. That's not how the market works. Somebody's got to lose because somebody's got to win. I hope you make money. I hope you never meet your losers. And I wish you nothing but the best. Talk to you soon.